I favor an alternative that I would call the public interest option that would be strong, not-for-profit competition to the for-profit companies, but not one that is run by a government agency. Let me begin by saying, with Senator Rockefeller's amendment, the devil is in the details. And in the details of his amendment, he does tie the public option to Medicare levels of reimbursement. My state has the second lowest level of Medicare reimbursement in the country. Every major hospital administrator in my state has told me if you tie public option to Medicare levels of reimbursement, which the Rockefeller Amendment does for 2 years, every hospital in my state, every major hospital, goes broke. So I can't possibly support an amendment that does that. Why is it the case? Because Medicare levels of reimbursement in my state are below the cost of providing the care.
Would the senator yield for a question?
I'd be happy to.
This is the fact that you brought up co-ops is something that I was hoping would be a separate amendment because
I didn't bring it up. I responded to a question.
Well, in the eye of the beholder.
No, let's be clear. I did not.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's what we've been talking about, and the amendment before us is the public option amendment. And I would advise my colleagues that that is the amendment before us. I have a great deal to say about co-ops, which is not what you would say based upon a lot of research. And I want to have a chance to say that, but I want to be able to vote on my amendment, which I think is a lot more effective and and I also to respond to some of the criticism that are made about it. Before I get into, a debate with you about co-ops, which is not a part of my amendment.
I've tried to stay away from that part of the debate in respect for the fact that we are on your amendment, and I've tried in my own review to talk about what I see as the weaknesses for the state that I represent with your amendment. And you and I have had this conversation, as you know, many times. But also to talk about different models that we see around the rest of the world. Not that we're going to adopt any of them, but as an indicator of what we might be thinking about. And I think that's a worthy debate.